Okay, so Mike on the mic here, and we're here at Pageant Night, right? Semi-finals.
Yep.
Introduce yourself to the audience.
I am Stephen Jones, the National Director of Miss and Mrs. Supranational and Miss Universe, Trinidad and Tobago.
And tonight we have the semi-finals, correct?
Well, tonight actually is the coronation night of Miss and Mrs. Supranational Trinidad and Tobago, but we're also witnessing the preliminary round for all of the Miss Universe candidates.
Okay. What's the difference? What makes you Miss Universe unique? To those who out there who may not know what makes you Miss Universe unique.
Well, they're all unique. Both brands bring with it its very poignant focus, really. So for the super candidates, the brand is focused on their involvement in building community initiatives, and similarly for Miss Universe with their Voice of Change projects. But really and truly, as both brands become more prominent globally, they both want the same thing. They want their spotlight, as it were. But because we're a small island, we have to manage our resources, and really and truly, the model is Miss and Mr. Trinidad and Tobago. And in that class, we identify various title holders for the pageant season that we are in.
So out of COVID-19 in 2025, I know we were affected heavily during COVID.
Yes.
What's it like now, 2025, seeing what's happening here tonight?
Mike, you've done your research, because if you remember in 2020, the young lady sitting next to me was crowned Miss Supranational Trinidad and Tobago during the pandemic, right here at the Anchorage. There was no live audience. Everything was done in a hybrid system. We had to pivot. And as life would have it, we're back here again 5 years later. But we've learned some very important lessons that we cannot, as we grow as a brand, we cannot do the same thing every year and expect a different result. And so we are always looking for new and inventive and innovative ways to do things. So you are actually looking, maybe, I suppose, so don't come me for this, but maybe it's the first time you're seeing a coronation event styled as a runway fashion show.
Yeah, it is actually.
So it's really beautiful to see it. It's also very beautiful to see a full house. We have almost maybe about 350 patrons here tonight from across the length and breadth of the country. And very importantly, Mike, you are aware that Miss Universe last season removed their age requirements. So there is no age limit. There is no height or body type limit. But for Supra, there is. And so we have to build our criteria to be inclusive of all of the young women and the young men who come forward.
And then on that note, for those who are out there who maybe want to come forward for 2026, what do you tell them?
Well, it's important to do some research about the brands that are out there, because one, we are not the only academy doing this type of developmental work, and we are in support of all of the other brands and houses that is prioritizing youth development, such as this. Crowns and Sashes, I think, it is my baby. And we find young people who are stumbling into an experience. They don't really plan to enter into a pageant. They think it's a modeling competition. And that too is okay. But for others who have been wanting to do something different, and by that I mean, when you look at the demographic of the group, very often you see a lot of working professionals like medical doctors and attorneys and teachers and nurses and entrepreneurs. But the truth is, you do not have to have that type of resume to come to the academy, because at the academy we teach you life skills for life. And really and truly, if you just want to step out of your comfort zone and belong to a community of people that love you and that will pour into you, and to give you a space where you will discover more about your own framework and your makeup, this is a good option, really.
It's interesting that he said that, because I have at least 5 people that I know personally that's in the pageant.
And this competition?
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's the main reason why I'm here, because I said if my community is here, there must be a reason to be here tonight. And my final question is, what are your expectations moving forward for 2026 for the pageant? What's going to be the next step?
Oh, I think you've been sitting in my board meetings, bro. You know, in the global scale of things, we have to pay attention to the ebb and flow of what's happening internationally. So our eyes are always keen on what's happening with our parent bodies because, of course, we are managing franchises. And so there are some things in the works where we are planning to do some expansion. And expansion would mean more representation. With more representation, it means that you will see more communities having a voice in this space, having a face in this space. We are going to be doing a lot more school tours, a lot more caravan type things, because the truth is we can't sit and expect people to come to us. We have to be able to go out into the communities, into the village councils, meet with the parents, the various stakeholders, and hopefully we can build a real good, wonderful thing. Because Mike, when you go to the international spaces, they come in throngs, and most times we are outnumbered. Really and truly. So I'm inviting those who are listening and watching this stream to consider giving your children and your loved ones permission to explore.
Well, what I've been seeing here tonight has been, for myself, inspirational. And I want to say I will volunteer my services. I would love to go to the next step. I would love to follow our delegate going forward into Miss Universe. It's definitely an opportunity, guys. 2026, I know the pageant is happening now and people are already into the pageant mode now. But I encourage you to follow what's happening. Follow them on Instagram, follow them on social media. What's your social media profile?
We are at Crowns and Sashes TT, our website crownsandsashestt.com. You just find us, and the truth is our doors are always open. And to your point, Mike, you don't have to only express an interest in becoming a candidate, because we're always looking for production team volunteers and various types of stakeholder engagement. So reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to welcome you on board, because it's one community, it's one Trinidad and Tobago.
And on that note, we have a lot of change happening in Trinidad and Tobago. There's been a major change, and you have the opportunity to also cause change in Trinidad and Tobago society. And let us elevate what we're doing here in Trinidad and Tobago and raise that Trinidad and Tobago flag. And once again, on the international scene, being able to be proud to say we are Trinbagonians.
That's right.
Thank you, Stevie.
Thank you very much.
I'm hoping that we can talk to some of the delegates before they be crowned.
You're very welcome to do so.
I want to be able to go backstage and bring you that exclusive. So that I can see the girls in the nervous moments, the guys in the nervous moments, right here on Mike and the Mike. Take care.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.